faces. Newcastle are going places. We've been down for many seasons. Cheer up, lads, we've got good reason. Come on, Kev, it's up to you to wave goodbye, Division 2. I'm a Geordie, I'm a Geordie. Pull up, pull up. I'm a Geordie, I'm a Geordie. Pull up.
The time is now.
Hey, good afternoon. Welcome one and all for the Eddie Howe Bayer Leverkusen Champions League press conference, which is very, very important, but not as important as saying happy birthday to Bookie today. Happy birthday, bunny lad.
Thank you very much, Win.
There you go, the one and only birthday boy. So get the housework done. Welcome along wherever you're watching, whatever you're watching on. If you're watching on something other than YouTube, please dip into YouTube, hit the likes, because it helps us get further along. All the usual, like, share, subscribe. If you want to make a donation, we'd be very, very grateful. Keeps we going. And other than that, let's crack on and let's hope that the usual communications from the club that we'll have to put up with when we're doing presses is somehow sorted out in Leverkusen, when they can barely sort it out at St. James's Park. We will have to wait and see. It's about to start anytime soon, so we'll see there what's going on. First question, I don't know if we've had this discussion. Which of the two games, Leverkusen tomorrow night and Sunderland at the weekend, which one do you consider to be the most important?
Sunderland, 100%.
Sunderland, 100%.
You've got to beat Sunderland. You have to. It's a pride thing. It's a northeast thing.
Yeah, it is. But in the greater scheme of things, so would you, for example, play a deliberately weakened team tomorrow night, in order to play a full strength team against the Mackhams?
I would never. People say play a deliberately weakened team. I would never ever play a deliberately weakened team, but I would use the squad tomorrow night. And yes, I'd want the strongest team out against the Mackhams. We'll have to beat them. That's the biggest game. The first thing that you look for when this fixtures come out at the start of the season is when we're playing Sunderland, and we've got to go over there and beat the dirty unwashed. We've got to.
I agree with that. But all I'm saying is, right where we are right now, with having given up those 3 points in Marseille, if we don't win tomorrow night, we're all of a sudden in a position where we need to beat PSV. Absolutely need to beat them. No ifs, no buts about it at the Park. And then potentially have to get something from PSG in Paris. And I just think that's a tall order.
We've got a big enough and good enough squad to win both these games, I don't think it should be a worry. I think if the team's picked correctly and we have the right tactics, we've got the squad depth to win both of these games. So I don't think we should worry about either.
So, for example, well, okay, and let's look at that, because I'm sure Eddie will be asked about it, and he's not going to tell us his lineup, obviously. But what would your lineup be tomorrow?
tomorrow.
with this super squad depth that we've got.
Well, I think you can afford to keep the back four, to burn out the back four, bring Hall in, to play your sort of your best back four with Botman being out with Shaw in there. So I would personally go Tino, Shaw, Chow, and Hall. Midfield. I mean, after seeing Ramsey that day, I don't want to play him. And Willock, I didn't want to play. Probably Miley, Botman. Bruno and Tonali in midfield.
Right?
Then Murphy on the right because Alanga was awful again. Probably Barnes on the left, and then Voldemort up front.
You wouldn't play Wizard up front.
You can't start Wissa this soon in after coming back. He only had a few minutes the other night. You've got to ease that lad back in.
Right. So essentially, you're putting you're bringing in Miley, Shea, and Murphy.
No, Shea started the weekend.
And then who should start the weekend?
No, I'm saying Shea started the weekend, didn't he? He was one of the centre backs. Then played left.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Aye,
So
but Byrne was there as well. That's all I'm saying.
That's what I'm saying. I'll bring in Hall and Miley. Would be
Right.
Hall, Miley, and Tonali.
Hall and Miley. Fair enough. And what about Saturday?
Your team on Saturday.
Or Sunday, sorry, Sunday.
So Sunday, sorry. Same back four. Same goalkeeper, obviously.
So you wouldn't play Dan Byrne in the derby?
No. They take Miley out, put Joe Linton in for to give her a bit of more strength in midfield. And I'd probably swap Barnes with Gordon.
You wouldn't play Dan Byrne in the derby?
No. Shaw's a better centre-back win. Shaw's passing and ability to pass the ball, especially away from home, is a massive thing for this team.
Wow. I am staggered.
Don't get us wrong.
Absolutely staggered.
Don't get us wrong. Burden would come on in both games to once we're winning and we've got the game wrapped up and he's there just to shore things up at the back. But no, I wouldn't start him in either game.
Oh, right, okay. I would definitely start. I might agree. I might rest him for tonight on the basis that Bayer are going to be. I would suggest less intensive and whatnot than what Sunderland are going to be. But the idea of dropping Byrne for the derby to me is an anathema. It is shocking.
But I'm not dropping.
Honest to God.
It's not dropping. It's using the squad. This is where me and you differ. I differ with Chris.
So, but obviously you're not using the squad because you're dropping them for both games.
I'm not dropping them. I'm using the squad.
Yeah, but you're resting them for 2 games then?
Well, how many games has he played this season compared to the other defenders?
Well, that's because he goes on forever. He's like a Duracell bunny. But I'm talking at centre-back. I'm talking at centre-back, not at left-back.
Look, if Byrne plays in either of those games, I've got no issue with it. He's a good
But
centre-back.
I'm just staggered that you wouldn't want his local passion for the derby. That means we actually would be going into the... So you're not playing Byrne, you're not playing Miley. So we're going into the derby without a single Geordie in the team.
Yeah, I don't see that as an issue. I don't see.
Well, hang on. What happened to all this? It's a derby. It's Sunderland. It's more important than Leverkusen.
Well, it is.
Surely, who's going to get that the most in the squad?
That's why
is it going to be Geordies who get it or non-Geordies who get it?
But that's why I want to pick the best team. That's why I want our best team out there.
So you think J7's part of our best team, and you think Shea's part of our best team?
I think J7 is a strong midfielder in regards to away games. So as I say, I wouldn't play him against Leverkusen, but I'd certainly have him against the Mackhams. Just simply down to his presence on the pitch and being able to, he won't let the midfield get overrun.
Won't let the midfield get overrun. Honest, I am, believe it or not, the mighty win is almost speechless. Almost speechless. I cannot believe it. We, it, I would be playing both Byrne and Miley
So who would you play?
against the Mackhams.
Would you play Miley over Tonali then?
No, I'd play against the Mackhams. I'd play Tonali, Bruno, and Miley, and at Leverkusen I'd play Bruno, Tonali, and J7.
See, I would switch that, but I wouldn't
And
disagree.
I wouldn't mind seeing Shea in centre back against Bayer. But Dan Byrne has got to be centre back against Sunderland. He simply has to be.
Just because he's a Geordie.
Absolutely. Well, not just because he's a Geordie, because he's also our best left centre back as it happens. But that's by the by.
So you don't think Shaw and Chow are a good centre back pairing?
Shea's a good right centre back, as is Chow.
I don't get this whole right left centre back thing. It was never a thing in the past. It's just something that seems.
It's always been a thing.
It hasn't really been. Come on.
It's always been a thing.
We've had periods where we've only had right-footed centre backs. You know, it's not a big deal.
Well, for example, when your golden era, the entertainers we had Howe and Peacock.
And Albert.
And then we had Albert and Peacock.
Albert and Peacock, who played together, both them were right-footed, weren't they?
No, Albert was left-footed.
You sure?
The icing on the cake. Over Schmeichel.
I can't remember what foot he hit it with, but as I say, I don't think it's a big thing. And to be fair, I'm not going to sit here and argue. If Byrne plays, I don't have a worry about it. Byrne will do a great job, but yes, for my personal team, and I would personally play Shaw. Shaw's the better centre back.
I'm just gobsmacked that you're not putting a Geordie in against the Mackhams.
But they're on the bench. They're there to come on. They're there to prove a point when they do come on, if we need them.
Anyway, it's not just us that's playing this week. I'm going to leave. I am utterly flabbergasted. But never mind. Where the league table is at the minute, we have got, what did I count? 2, 4, 6, 8. There's 10 teams who are level with us or above us in the Champions League that play tonight. 4 of them are playing each other, so they can't all get points. So Inter Liverpool, Inter on 12. I've just been talking to Borgie about this. Inter on 12 points. Liverpool on 9, the same as we are, with the worst goal difference. So really how we fare tomorrow night influences what sort of reaction we'll have to what the results are tonight. Because if we work on the assumption we're going to get 3 points tomorrow, then really what we want is a Liverpool win.
Question, you just get my attention and we'll come to you in order.
If he can run
As
that
soon as we
fast,
get it back, we'll be back with Eddie.
I was going to say, if Eddie can run that fast, we should maybe be playing him at wing back.
Playing him instead of a Langer or a centre back. There we go. We're waiting for anything happening in what do they call it? The Bay Arena. I think that's what the stadium's called, the Bay Arena. Meanwhile, back at the ranch, as I say, Chelsea are playing Atlanta. They are both. Here we go.
Coming on.
Okay. Good afternoon, everyone. Welcome. We've got Eddie Howe now for the next 15 minutes, and then you'll be joined by Nick Voltamada. If you've got a question, if you can just get my attention, and we'll come to you in order. Who wants to start us off? Nisha.
Hi, Eddie. I mean, massive week for the football club. You know that. What's it been like preparing for this? 3 points could all but take you to the knockout stages of the competition. A huge game before the derby.
Yeah, it's been, as most weeks this season, intense. So finish the game on Saturday, immediately review the game, then immediately prepare the next one, and just constantly in that cycle of watching and either watching your own team in our performance or preparing a new game. So having to cram a lot of work into a short period of time, but we'll be ready for the game. We're excited by this one. I think this is it's a great stadium. Looking forward to the challenge that Leverkusen will bring, because it'll be a really tough game for us.
Great to see Wissa get his first minutes at the weekend. How's he been since that game, and is he ready for more?
Yeah, he looks positive. I think his body language has been very good. He felt boosted by coming on the pitch and playing. As I said, it's probably earlier than we would have wanted, but I think he's ready to take on minutes. The challenge we have now is we're going to have limited game training time in between games to continue to develop his fitness, so it's going to be a balancing act we've got to try and get right. But I think he showed in that 20 minutes his qualities and what he can bring, and I think he'll only get better.
Thanks, Nisha. Keith Downey.
Hi, Eddie. I know you've been. I know you've kind of been doing it the last few games anyway. You've sort of been mixing it up a little bit in terms of your lineup. Will you pick a team tomorrow night with Sunday in mind? Because obviously it's a huge game, the derby.
No, not necessarily. I think we'll pick a team that I think will be strong tomorrow and hopefully strong on Sunday as well. Got a few injuries, especially to our back line, which has been there for a few games now, and I think that's an area of concern for us. But we come here with a strong squad, and we're ready for this week, which will, as you say, 2 massive games for us, but we'll be ready for both.
When you say they're an area of concern, do you mean in terms of the amount of games the likes of, I suppose, Tino Livramento and Lewis Hall are having to play, having just returned from injuries? Is that what you mean by that? Yeah,
that's what I mean. We don't have the depth in those positions that we would want necessarily at this time of the season, but we just have to go with it. And those 2 players that you mentioned have done really well so far. Lewis was obviously ill before Saturday's game, and we didn't want to take that risk of pushing him when he was fatigued. But came through the 30 minutes that he played well. So hopefully both players will be fine.
Thank you. We'll go to Scott, Chris, and then Lee, please.
It feels like a really pivotal year in terms of the Champions League campaign, Eddie. And obviously, we all know 2 years ago, strong start, and then it kind of fell away. Clearly, after the last game.
Cheers.
This is an opportunity to make sure that doesn't happen. Let's look at it.
Yeah, I think you throw me with that one. I think I've been relatively pleased with how we've done in the Champions League this year. I think the Barcelona game was a strong performance. Actually, the 2 defeats we've had have been similar patterns in games where I think we've been really strong in our performance, but we haven't come away with what I felt we deserved in both of those games. So we don't want that empty feeling again. This will be a really tough game. Leverkusen are an outstanding football team. They play a really good style. Very true to their identity. They never deviate from it. Got some really good players. So this will be a tough game, but also another test of how far we've come and how far we've got to go.
And we've talked a lot in recent weeks. We've talked a lot in recent weeks about game management.
Press your button, Scott.
Does it
Should be used to that.
I was going to say, you always tell me you can. I
couldn't hear a thing then.
Oh, right, okay. We've talked a lot about game management in recent weeks. It feels like this is a game where that's going to be really, really important because the San Gilloise game you were always on top of. It's unlikely that that's going to be the case tomorrow. There's probably going to be parts of this game where you're going to have to manage it.
Yeah, that is part of winning and losing, how you manage different scenarios. I'd say our main issue in recent weeks has been defending set plays. So you can call it game management. Defending set plays has been a bit of an issue for us, but nothing that we can't fix, and we're working to do that. So there's always things that come up through the season, areas where you have to suddenly focus on and do some work on, and that's in both ways. That's attacking and defending, and that's what we're currently doing.
Chris?
Hi, Eddie. Nick Voldemort, come back to Germany. Can you just give a little insight into how you feel he's done since he's come across? Obviously, the big price tag, there's been some criticism across in Germany of him, but he seems to have really settled in quite well so far.
Yeah, I think he's done brilliantly. Yeah, I mean, just had the pleasure of half an hour with him on the way here, and just a great person, really good character, great to talk to and to ask questions of. You know, the German league and the German mentality. He's on the pitch. I think he's done really well. It's very difficult to come in and do what he's done. I think he's fitted in superbly. He's really brought into the team ethos in terms of giving for the team, whether that's out of possession, whether that's coming back and defending set plays, which he's actually done really well for us, and of course scoring goals. And we need to try and create more for him as a team. We need to try and be better in that respect. The chances that he has done, he's invariably done very well with them. But there's still so much more to come from him. I'm excited about what he can be.
Lee Ryder?
Eddie, have you considered, or is it even possible to have like dual preparations, like leaving 4 or 5 players at home to relax a bit ahead of Sunday and bringing your squad here? Is that something you've thought of? Because previous managers have actually tried it and failed.
Well, let's put a line through that one. I was going to do it, but it didn't work. So no, I think we don't have enough players currently to do that anyway. So we bring our whole squad who's fit. And that would be my train of thought anyway. The best thing to keep players fit and fresh is to continue to play football. Sometimes rest, and unless it's designed specifically for the individual and really planned through, I don't think at this stage of the season is productive. So even if we do rotate players, we still bring them. They're still part of the group, and sometimes a really good cameo, 20, 30 minutes, can do them the world of good and can freshen them up. So no, we're here in full strength.
You said you've got a strong squad. Has anyone been left behind? Any surprises? That'll be
Injury-wise, you mean?
Yeah.
No, not from Saturday. No, I don't think so.
Thanks, Lee. Yeah, gentleman in the white t-shirt.
Hi, it's Marlon Ilbacher for Sky Sport News Germany. For us Germans, it's very exciting to see Nick Woltemade again playing here, of course. How do you see his development? Where's his potential, and how typical German is he?
Yeah, I think he's got a lot more in his game to still come out. I think technically we've spoke a lot about it in England, that he's very, very good with the ball at his feet. He's got really good quick feet for such a big player. And as a team, we're still getting used to some of the ways that he wants to receive the ball and the runs that he likes to make. My only frustration is that I haven't been able to train with him as much as I would have liked on the actual training pitch and really work him in certain areas, because we've just got a game every 3-4 days, and so that's not been possible. And I think that's the quickest way to probably bring out the growth in his game that we want to do. But in the meantime, we're doing a lot of analysis with him. We're doing a lot of reviewing, and then trying to implement certain things in his game off the back of that. And I think that's worked pretty well. In terms of typical German, I don't know it. I don't know that many Germans, so I don't know what the correct thing to say there is. All I can say has been a breath of fresh air in terms of his conduct and his attitude and how he's been with his teammates.
Thank you. Gentleman on the right hand side there.
Yeah, Felix from RTL Germany.
Hi, Felix.
Eddie, once again to question to Nick. He's very popular in Newcastle. Your supporters sing a song. You were talking about the Germans. So what is it that you like him as a human being? Does he have British humor, or is he for you typical German?
Yeah, I think he has British humour. I think that's one of the first things that I noticed about him. He came in with a very really good way of approaching a transfer. So he came in and instantly, I think, felt at home and felt comfortable and made people laugh with his unique humour. I think laughter and relaxing people is a great way to sort of settle in with a new place. But also I think he's gone in wholehearted to the Newcastle way of life, to what the team needs, to what the city requires when you play for the football club. So he's worked hard. He's really tried to help us in all of the ways that we want to play, and he's tried to implement that into his game, even though it might not be the most natural thing in his game. And I think that will stand him in really good stead for long-term success with us. He was making me laugh on the way here. He really is a funny guy, and I mean it in the nicest sense. I really like being with him.
Thank you. Louise Taylor?
Hi, Eddie. You're in a good position still to finish in the top 8. How important would it be to try and avoid the playoffs, if possible?
Yeah, I mean, it would be the thing that we're looking to do, of course, if we can. However we get through to the knockout phase of the Champions League is the target. We'll take it any way that it comes, but yeah, the preference would be to go through without a playoff game, and that would cut down our load slightly. That would be beneficial, but there's no guarantees. This is the elite competition. It is, because the games are so tough, and we know for us, the 2 away games we have to come are very difficult. The home game, we're playing a team really in form, so it's a tough end to our Champions League campaign, and we want to learn the lessons. Going back to the first question I had of the last Champions League campaign, and try and get through.
And with Nick Voltermader's humour, could you give us an example?
Not very good joke teller myself, and I don't think it would sound as good if I told them. But I don't necessarily think he's a joke teller. He's more just he's got good lines to come back with, and he's a good guy to talk to, as you'll find out very, very soon. But I think he can laugh at himself as well, and I think that's a really good quality. So I think he's just a down-to-earth guy.
Thanks, Louise. Gary?
Hi, Eddie. Obviously, we spoke about Nick, but he's not the only German doing really well for you at the moment. How well and impressed have you been by Malik, and just how good can he be as well?
Yeah, Malik's done incredibly well. I think for a defender, I think that the role is slightly different. When you come into the team, you almost want to go unnoticed, in a sense that you're doing your job consistently well, you're making good decisions. If your positioning is good, you're rarely caught out. And I think he's done all of those things. He's sort of gone on, not under the radar, certainly with us, and I don't think with the media either, but it's been cool, calm, collected performances. I think he's been very good with the ball, but most importantly, very good defensively. So he's made a great start to his career with us, and long may that continue. Our defensive solidity is going to be crucial. And yeah, I've been very pleased with him.
Go on then, I'll put you on the spot. So who's the funniest, Malik or Nick?
I don't think there's a competition there, because I don't think Malik would lay claim to that title. But I think Malik's got a great way about him as well, although slightly more understated. He just goes about his business in a really professional way. He's quite quiet within the group, but I take that as a sign of real strength.
And just behind Gary?
Yeah, hello, Philip Arends from Newspaper Bild. What impression did you had from Leverkusen's performance in Manchester 2 weeks ago? You know, they were playing with a lot of players injured, suspended, and 6 under-19 players on the bench, and they managed to win this game.
I think any team that goes to Manchester City and wins instantly demands your attention, really. And I think that game underlined their quality and what they can do and how dangerous they can be. But I don't think it's just that game. I've watched them a lot in the Bundesliga, in various competitions, against Dortmund in the Cup recently. Very, very strong team. as I say, very clear identity, very good at rotating positions and playing flexible systems, and that makes them difficult for us to play against. So our preparation is going to have to be really good.
Thanks, Philip. Thank you, everyone. Nick will be with you very shortly.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Nice to see you all. Thanks.
You're on mute, Win.
Well spotted. So what did he have to say so far while we wait for Nick coming in? Well, he said that Wissa is now ready and eager for minutes on the pitch.
Thank you. It's not so cold in here.
Oh, that's good.
Hi guys, we've got 15 minutes with Nick. So yeah, who's going to start us off? Keith, Sky Sports.
The manager's just said that you're a funny guy. Said he's had half an hour with you on the way here. Can you tell us a couple of jokes?
You know, like when you say jokes, what you did before, and tell them again, and like 20 minutes later, they're not good anymore. So I didn't know what I said exactly, but yeah, we laugh a lot. I think he's a really nice guy, and can make jokes with him, can laugh with him. He is also a good gaffer. So I think all in all, he's a really good person.
I walked into a sports shop earlier. Well, this isn't a joke. It sounds like a joke. Sorry. I walked into a sports shop earlier this morning, and there you were with a Germany kit on. You were front and centre. You're obviously part of the main person in terms of the advertising campaign. What does it feel like for you to come back to the country and play for Newcastle on the back of that big move? You're clearly loved here and also in Newcastle.
Yeah, really nice. I'm really excited to come back to Germany. I said already often I feel already like home in Newcastle too, but if I'm honest, to come always to your hometown and like to your home country again, it's always feeling good. And yeah, now I'm really happy to be here. I played here some games with my old teams. They didn't went well, so I'm really excited to win tomorrow and had a good feeling here in the stadium.
We'll go to Nisha, then to Chris, then to Scott.
Hi, Nick. Eddie Howe said that you've been filling him in on the Bundesliga, German football, because you've got the best insight to it. What have you been telling him about Leverkusen and what the challenge will be tomorrow?
Yeah, I think it will be a tough game, to be honest. In this summer, they had a lot of changes in the club, a lot of new players. But the last 2 years with Xabi Alonso, they've been really good. And I just said, like when I played here with Bremen, like 3 years ago, I didn't know how often I touched the ball, but they played such good football. Even last year, I think with my old club with Stuttgart, this game's been always really nice to watch. And yeah, to be honest, they had a lot of changes, new manager. So yeah, I'm excited what's coming tomorrow. But I know they want to play football, and yeah, they still have good players. I think yeah, you can see now they won in Man City and stuff. So they're also in a good position there. But of course, we want to win this game.
Your boss also spoke of how well you've settled in at Newcastle and really getting into the Newcastle way of life. Tell us a bit about how it's been adapting to living in the Northeast.
Yeah, it's cold right now, but I think it's kind of the same to Germany, to be honest. And yeah, I'm really settled in really well. I feel already like home. Of course, we had a lot of games, so I can't see so much of the city in the Northeast, but yeah, I really like the place where I'm living. I'm feeling home there. A lot of friends, my family, they're always with me. They're watching the games, and especially, like the most important for me is the club. And this club is really, really nice. I'm really happy to be there. And yeah, like even I'm excited for every home game what we play because the atmosphere is so nice. And yeah, feels already really good there. And even I'm now here for like 3 months, I think. But yeah, this time yeah, I think I proved already a lot. I get a better player, and I think all in all, this is also for me as a person a new step, a new country. This is really good for me, and yeah, I'm really happy to be in Newcastle.
We'll go to Chris, then Scott, and then the gentleman in the blazer.
Hi Nick, you said you already feel like a better player after 3 months. Can you just explain how you feel you're becoming a better player, adjusting to a new league, and have you stylistically had to change at all?
I think especially my physical work is getting way better. I think I can sprint more. I can go more duels. I think this is really important for the Premier League to get this in your mind. And the gaffer worked with me a lot, even the other coaches too. But we talked about this a lot. And in the league you don't get so many chances as striker sometimes. But I think. It's hard to explain in English now, but the feeling that for myself that I always know I can always score a goal. I think this is what Newcastle gave me also a lot, because I always have the feeling in the game, okay, I can score a goal even when I don't touch the ball maybe for some minutes. I know always, the ball will come, because I have such good teammates. They give me good balls, and I think all in all, the most what I improved is the physics.
And there's been a lot of talk and noise in Germany since your transfer and when the transfer happened, and particularly at Bayern Munich, where there's sort of remarks about the price tag that was paid for you. How do you respond to that?
To be honest, I don't care. I think a lot of people speak about me, and if I would listen to everything what is saying about me, like I can't focus on myself anymore. So I don't read it. I just taking care of myself and focus on myself, and that's the way what helps me the best. And at the end, I'm not deciding what someone is paying for me. So but I can say I'm really happy that Newcastle is paying this for me, because I'm really happy that I'm now in Newcastle.
Scott, then the gentleman in the blazer.
Hi, Nick. Nick, when Harry Kane has come back to play in England, being a player now in Germany, he's often said that as England's kind of number 9, he feels that whenever he goes back and plays in England, it's almost bigger for him. It's more that he wants to just remind everyone back in England what he is and what he's doing. Do you feel a little bit of that coming back to Germany the other way around?
It's the first time now that I'm back in Germany, so I don't know about it. But of course, I think as a striker, if you score goals, always feeling good. I think at the end, I don't care where you score the goals, but if you score it, it's the best feeling what you can get. And I think Harry Kane is scoring a lot of goals, so he get the feeling really often. But I'm really happy now to be back in Germany, and of course, I hope that I can score a goal.
And when you talk about settling in and the early days for you at Newcastle, has it gone better than you thought it would? Has it been like you thought it would? Has it been different to how you thought it would? How would you say these kind of first 2 or 3 months have been compared to what you maybe thought it would be like when you made the move?
To be honest, I didn't have so many expectations. I just had good talks with the manager and the club. I had directly a good feeling about it. So that's what I said. Okay, I want to make this step to a new country, to a new club, to a new league. But of course, my start was really well, and I'm really happy about it, that I got directly a good feeling. But I think I also just had the good start because the club welcomes me so good. You know, when I came there, I already felt like, okay, I'm here, like not like just like one day, but I'm feeling really good already about it, because they talked a lot with me. The players gave me a good feeling. The manager talked a lot with me. So I had directly the feeling that that felt like I was already longer there. But I'm really happy about it, and I think the start was really good.
Hi Nick, Felix from RTL Television. Nick, before you went to Newcastle, you had a nice chat, a nice podcast with Tommy Schmidt, the Copa TS podcast. And you said before you went to Newcastle, you never watched the Premier League. Is it true? It was joking, or was it true?
To be honest, I watched a lot of German football. So I watched also a lot of English football, but a lot more of German football. But of course, I'm a person who is really interested in football. I don't care exactly which league, but of course, I watch a lot of German football because I know a lot of players there. I played in every league in Germany. So I watch a lot of German football, but of course I watch Premier League, and I think everyone knows about the players there, about the style, and now I can say the Premier League is a really nice league, and I even know it more better now because I'm playing there.
Gentleman in the white t-shirt.
Marlon Hilbacher for Sky Sports Germany. Hi Nick, welcome back to Germany. Today at the Bayer Leverkusen presser, some colleagues talked about you are very similar to Peter Crouch. Maybe you remember Peter Crouch, and they were talking about the physical style and the playing style, of course. Do you remember Peter Crouch? What do you think about it?
I remember him, but if I'm honest now, like I think if everyone, like I'm 2002, so I didn't watch him so much playing. I could say now I watch him a lot, but I didn't do because I was too young. But of course, when I was young, a manager in Bremen, when I was coming up to the first team, when I was 16, everybody called me Crouchy. But I think it was not even because of the playing style, but I think because I look like him, because I'm also skinny and tall. So yeah, but to be honest, I didn't watch him so much playing because I was too young.
Gary?
Hi Nick. Just to take you back to your debut goal against Wolves, I think you did an interview after the game with someone from Germany, and you were explaining about how one of your friends had come over to live with you in Newcastle, but he's mentioned you were both single and they could potentially find a girlfriend. How's that gone for you?
I don't know why everyone is talking about this. I think it's something normal. Like when you come to a new county, like of course I'm alone, so I ask my best friend, "Hey, you wanna come with me to Newcastle?" And yeah, that's the only point. I think I don't know how you call it in English. It's like WG. Someone knows it? What's the thing? No, no, not this one. Like when you live together with your best friend. I don't know. Like I guess a lot of people are doing this, and I'm just doing the same. But yeah, everyone is talking about.
Have you met anyone special yet, though, on Tyneside? Any females special?
No, I have a lot of games, so I didn't meet anyone.
Just on a more serious one, hopefully you'll form a special partnership with Johan now he's back. How much are you looking forward to playing with him up front together?
Yeah, really excited. I think he's a really good player. He's a quality player. He's a player who can score goals, and even he's also a nice guy. He brings really positive vibes in the team because he's laughing a lot. He gives good energy, and yeah, I'm really excited. I think we also can play together. Yeah, yeah, I'm really excited that he's back. He's a quality player, and that's what we need.
Yep.
Ja, hallo, Philipp Ahrens von der Bild-Zeitung. Ich darf auf Deutsch fragen, hat mir gerade jemand
gesagt.
Ja, sehr
gerne.
Hallo, herzlich willkommen, Nick. Zwei Fragen bitte. Zum einen, dein Coach hat vorhin gesagt, fand ich sehr, sehr nett. Ich glaube, ich habe selten so ein schönes Kompliment über einen Spieler gehört. Er bringt die Menschen in Newcastle zum Lachen. Das fand ich sehr bemerkenswert. Wie denkst du darüber? Und das andere, ganz blöd gefragt, wie fandst du die WM-Auslosung mit Ecuador, Elfenbeinküste und Curaçao?
Ja, dann antworte ich auch mal in Deutsch. Freue mich auch sehr drüber. Ja, sehr nettes Kompliment. Ich glaube, das ist so mit das, was du am schönsten kriegen kannst, mit das beste Kompliment, weil ich glaube, das ist auch das, wofür ich da bin. Ich habe immer gesagt, ich möchte ein Entertainer auch auf dem Platz sein. Und am meisten freut es mich, glaube ich, wenn ja, Leute sich freuen, mich spielen zu sehen. Ich glaube, das ist mit das schönste Kompliment, was du kriegen kannst als Spieler. Und zweite, WM-Auslosung. Ja, ich glaube, keine einfache Gruppe. Ich glaube, wenn man drauf schaut, Ecuador, ich habe mit unseren brasilianischen Freunden gesprochen in der Mannschaft, die meinten, dass es nicht gerade was Einfaches. Ich glaube, die waren sogar auch vor denen in der Quali. Elfenbeinküste, ja, ich glaube, Afrikameister. Ich glaube, generell auch sehr viele gute Spieler, auch eine Mannschaft mit Qualität. Und Curaçao, ehrlicherweise, kenne ich Tai Chong, mit dem habe ich zusammengespielt in Bremen. Sonst kenne ich da keinen Spieler, deswegen schwierig dazu was zu sagen. Aber ich glaube, wir haben eine gute Mannschaft und wir wollen die Spiele gewinnen. Und ich glaube, wenn wir unsere Leistung bringen, erhöht das auf jeden Fall die Wahrscheinlichkeit, dass wir die Spiele gewinnen.
We'll go to Lee and the gentleman in the white t-shirt to finish.
Nick, I know you've got this game against Leverkusen tomorrow night, but are the players starting to talk about the derby, and are you looking forward to your first taste of playing Sunderland and potentially becoming a hero for life?
Yeah, I'm really looking forward, of course. I think it's a great game for the fans, for everyone, especially also for us players. And yeah, but I think tomorrow also really important. I think to play Champions League, it's not the daily business. So we're really excited for the game tomorrow, and I hope we can get a good feeling with a win tomorrow for the game on Sunday.
When you signed for the club, obviously there was a lot of talk about players leaving. We'll not go into that. Did you just see this as a big opportunity you wanted to take with both hands and cash in on what some people didn't want?
To be honest, I think I just said, like, when you care about this stuff, I think it don't come to an end, because like there are too many people, like I don't know. I just focus on myself. So I just saw the opportunity to play in the Champions League, to play in the best league, to play in a really nice team, and that's the opportunity what I wanted to take. And I think this was the right opportunity to take, and I'm really happy now. I think this club gave me a lot, and this league gave me a lot. So I'm really happy that I took the opportunity.
Dann mache ich auch noch eine Frage auf Deutsch. Nick, noch eine Frage zu deiner persönlichen Entwicklung. Ich kann mich erinnern, ich habe dich vor ein paar Jahren gesehen, da hast du für Elversberg bei Rot-Weiß Essen, meinem Heimatverein, gespielt. Und ich habe für ein kleines Magazin gearbeitet, du in der 3. Liga gespielt, jetzt Champions League, ist bei beiden gut gelaufen, glaube ich. Wie siehst du diese Entwicklung? Sitzt du manchmal auch da und denkst irgendwie, Wahnsinn, wohin ich es eigentlich gepackt habe? Und wie hast du den Weg bis dahin auch erlebt? Wie hart war die Arbeit? Vielleicht kannst du mal so ein bisschen Einblick noch geben.
Ja, da könnte ich jetzt eine sehr, sehr lange Antwort geben.
It's just crazy, as you said.
Ich glaube, wenn man zusammenfasst, war, glaube ich, immer ein großes Talent, dann den Weg über 3. Liga gegangen, da hat es auch erst nicht funktioniert, dann hat es sehr gut funktioniert, dann in der Bundesliga auch nicht so richtig gefruchtet in Bremen, dann bin ich nach Stuttgart ablösefrei, jeder so ein bisschen gedacht, ja, was macht der denn jetzt überhaupt da in Stuttgart? Ja, dann da eine sehr gute Saison, glaube ich, gespielt, sehr gutes Gefühl gehabt, auch wenn es am Anfang da auch nicht hingehauen hat, richtig. Ja, und dann hat sich da, glaube ich, so ein kleiner Hype ausgelöst um meine Person herum. Und ja, da muss man, glaube ich, auch sagen, dass ich in vielen Situationen, glaube ich, dann auch gut gespielt habe. In vielen Situationen, glaube ich, auch wichtige Tore geschossen habe. Ja, und jetzt dadurch dann mir, glaube ich, auch so ein Credit erspielt bisschen habe, dass nicht jeder nur noch sagt, okay, das war jetzt meine Eintagspflege von dem, sondern ich habe, glaube ich, jetzt in vielen Situationen schon gezeigt, glaube ich, dass ich gute Leistung bringen kann. Ja, ich glaube, mein Wechsel jetzt allein ist das, glaube ich, auch neue Liga für sehr viel Geld hergewechselt. Viele Stimmen um mich herum, die gesagt haben, ist das Richtige oder nicht. Ich glaube, das hat jetzt auch wieder gezeigt, dass es, glaube ich, eine gute Entscheidung war. Oder auch bei der Nationalmannschaft, glaube ich, jetzt auch, glaube ich, 4 sehr, sehr wichtige Tore geschossen, die uns, glaube ich, jetzt auch dann auf einen guten Weg zur WM gebracht haben. Und ja, das sind alles Momente, die mich sehr freuen. Und natürlich, was soll ich erzählen? Ich habe vor 1,5 Jahren mir das selber nicht ausmalen können, ne? Dass ich jetzt so einen Weg gehe, jetzt in der besten Liga spiele, Nationalstürmer bin, Tore schieß, viele Tore schieß, ja, sehr, sehr glücklich, keine Frage. Aber wie gesagt, sehr, sehr viele Spiele, deswegen komme ich manchmal auch gar nicht richtig zu den Momenten, dass ich das so richtig realisieren kann.
Done. Thank you, guys. Appreciate your time.
Good luck. Dankeschön.
There we go. Well, I was rapidly trying to brush up my German, but
I can quickly translate it when what Walter was saying was, if Eddie Howe plays Dan Burn at left back again, he's personally going to escort him out of the stadium. So.
and did you also hear him say, and by the way, that bogey on NUFC Talk TV saying that Dan Burn shouldn't start against Sunderland is talking out of his rear end. You know, that was the only bit I heard. Meanwhile,
I think that got lost in translation.
Meanwhile, back at the ranch. So getting back to Eddie, first of all, Eddie was first up, and he was asked straight away about Wissa. And he said he's ready for minutes playing, but the training and playing balance is exactly that. It's a balancing act. With the backline injuries that we have, it's going to be a struggle to be ready for both games, because he was asked about the Mackems and Bayer, with Lewis Hall having been ill before the Burnley game, and obviously with Kraft and Trippier and Botman all out, we are struggling a bit at the back. but he said that we ain't been done too badly generally anyway, because the only two losses that we've had in the Champions League against Barca and Marseille, we've been in front in both games, and it's defensive errors, and specifically he mentioned defending set plays, which he said we've been, or he seems to think we've been particularly bad at defending set plays. But it's nothing we can't fix, says Eddie.
I think with the question of how when some of the questions are just getting ridiculous. Where, you know,
actually that question there was in response to what I thought was a good question, which was in-game when he was specifically asked about in-game management.
There's some good questions, but go on about jokes and that with players. I mean, there was no question asked about Botman with his injections in his back. So, you know, how long is he going to be out for? Is he close to coming back? Can he play with these injections? There was no questions asked about the fact that going to have to play a young keeper. Sorry, not play. We're going to have a young keeper on the bench because none of the other senior players have been named in the squad.
Well, Pope,
you know,
Pope is named in the squad, of course.
Yeah, but he's unfit.
But he's
allegedly he's unfit. But there was no questions asked around that. As I said, the pressers just seem to now want to have, like, you know, jokey personality type questions rather than actually asking them about the team and where we're going.
Well, as I say, I mean, I thought that was a pretty incisive question. That's saying, you know,
but that's one.
You know, I think it's about game management.
I think with the, like, when the player comes on, you can understand the questions being a little bit more jovial and a bit more funny, and yeah, you can have one or two questions that are jovial, but they're not asking them about the team or about the squad. As I say, I mean, spending time talking about Wissa and whether he can tell jokes or not. Well, let's face it, who cares who can tell jokes? All we need to know is he can put the ball in the back of the net.
Well, I think I wouldn't say necessarily, but obviously with Nick going back to Germany, that was because there was quite a few German reporters in there as well who were asking specifically Nick questions, which is their remit, if you like, I would suspect. What he did say was that he'd had presumably on the plane, he's had a good half-hour conversation with Nick, and he's delighted with the way that he's fitted in with the team and bought into the team ethos. And he says himself we need to create more chances for him. You know, he says he's been brilliant at converting the chances that we have created, but we aren't creating enough.
But then on the spin of that win, why don't the pressers then turn around and say to him, so how are we going to do that, Eddie? Instead of carrying on about the joke side of it, actually push him on the footballing side and say, you're right, he's right, we do need to create more chances for Voltemada, but how's this team going to do that? The pressers just go down a route of trying to make it jovial and quite easy for Eddie Howe, rather than they would have done in the past, and actually ask him the tough questions.
Well, the next tough question he was asked was with regard to balancing the two games, Leverkusen and the derby.
The derby.
And had he ever? I mean, this was crazy, by the way, because the kid answered his own question. Had he ever considered leaving players behind to rest, get proper rest? Well, he says, I know it's never worked for anybody in the past. So he kind of shot himself in the foot with that question. But anyway, to that, Eddie answered that as far as he was concerned, rest wasn't of itself productive. That players need to be playing which is why 30-minute cameos here and there are more productive than rest days. And then it was back to Nick, and he says he's been a breath of fresh air, instantly fitted in, great humour. He has the ability to laugh at himself, really funny guy, embraced the city. And then he was asked about the benefits of getting into that top 8 and avoiding the playoffs. And he said, well, if you avoid the playoffs, you cut the load straight away. So that's a good thing straight away, because you're reducing the number of games that you have to play without losing any money. And so in the first instance, it was the objective of the exercise is to get top 8, but the main thing is by whatever route to get into the knockout stages.
Do you have any worries that we won't do that win, though? Do you have worries that we won't make that knockout stages? Because I've got none. We'll make this knockout stages, no problem. By hook or by crook, we'll get there.
Well, I mean, I hope you're right, but I would just rather get in the top 8, where the likelihood is that for the next 2 games you're going to be playing much lesser teams than if we just scrape in and end up having to play Real Madrid in the qualifier.
Well, that's always the chance, but worrying about not getting into that next stage, we're going to be in that next stage. There's not a thought in my head thinks that will not be.
And then all of a sudden, if we don't, would you then maybe reconsider your opinion that Everton was more important than Marseille and the Mackhams are more important than Leverkusen?
No.
What, even if we don't qualify?
Premier League's your bread and butter. You've got to prioritise Premier League. And I know you've got a completely different opinion.
Yeah.
But for me, you've got to prioritise Premier League. How do you get into the Champions League next season? The only way you can do that is through the Premier League.
And what's the point of getting in the Champions League if you're going to drop at the first hurdle?
For the money. Are we going to win the Champions League this season? In all seriousness, do you have any chance we can win it?
Every chance.
You really believe that?
I really believe that. I think once you get the knockout stages, anything can happen. It's been proven time and again in the past.
So when did a team like Newcastle last win I've asked you this before. When did a team like Newcastle last win the Champions League?
Well, you've had Porto's won it. You've had Red Star Belgrade's won it.
In all seriousness, how long ago is it since those guys won it? In the last 20 years, the big boys win it. The big boys are going to. And you're right, because they've got the money. They'll go out and spend the money, and they'll win it. And if they're not. If they don't think they can win it, they'll spend more money in the winter transfer window because they can do that. So you're right. You're right in one way that sort of the big boys always win it. So the only thing we can do is try to keep getting back in it, so we become one of the big boys.
All I'm saying is, if you take, for example, if we could get a couple of minnows. Well, ideally, if we get the top 8 and then you get a minnow in the last 16, and then all of a sudden, we're in the quarter-final. Well, 2 years ago, we beat PSG over 2 legs.
I've got no doubt that we could win big games. But we're not going to win the Champions League. Let's be honest. We're not going to win the Champions League.
All you then need is the others of the big ones being drawn together and knocking each other out. It's a cup competition, man. Anything can happen.
It is, and don't get us wrong. It's probably a 1 in 150 chance that we win the Champions League this season. Would you agree with that?
That's about right. In fact, if you offered us 150 to 1, I probably wouldn't take it. But
so there you go. That proves the fact that it's a massive outside chance. So in which case, the only way
it's a chance, and every round you progress, you're talking 20 million and 40 million.
But the only way we can guarantee Champions League football next season, have a realistic chance at it, is league football. You've got to take the Premier League seriously, Win. You've got to.
Of course, you've got to take it seriously, but not for me, not at the expense of the Champions League. Anyway, he was then asked about another German that we've signed in the summer. And he says Malik Chow has fitted in incredibly well. But he's more understated than Walter Marder is. So he's quiet and he likes that. He likes that in Malik Chow. More of an Eddie Howe character, I think. Not as outgoing, shall we say. But then he was also asked about Leverkusen, and he says, obviously, any team that's gone to the Etihad and beaten Man City is not a team that you can take lightly, which I think is fair comment, although their domestic form at the minute isn't great. The fact that they can go and beat Man City shows that they are a team to be reckoned with. Then we had Mr. Voldemort himself, and he said he's found the Premier League to be tough games, but he's sorry, you beg your pardon. He was saying when he was in Germany, excuse me, he always had tough games against Leverkusen in the stadium that he's playing in. But he says now they've got a new manager, now that Alonso's gone, they've got a new manager, so they're not the Invincibles that they were. And then with regard to the Premier League, he said he's finding he's having to contend with a lot more physical duels in the Prem than he's generally been used to, and he's working very hard on that to improve. And he said, especially with the coach. And I think you can see that, can't you, on the pitch?
You can, but I think a little bit what he needs to learn as well is the dog arts, because don't get us wrong, you never call a player out for standing on his feet all the time, but he'll try to stay on his feet no matter what. Whereas sometimes if you feel that little touch or something, you've got to go simply to get.
Well, that was particularly I forget what the game was now when he should have went down and Arsenal would have been down to 10 men.
That side of the game.
That was the game. Was Gabriel, wasn't it?
Just be a little bit professional and actually, as soon as you feel a touch on your back or a push, go down.
But I've noticed that, when he's challenging for, when there's a high ball comes into that area between the centre circle and the D, and I've seen him win very, very few of those, even though he's 6'7". He doesn't seem to fare well in those, so he definitely needs to work on that. And then he was asked the obvious question about what he thought of Bayern's comments when he joined the Toon. And he quite rightly said he didn't care. All he was focused on was him and his game. He couldn't affect. He had no control over what somebody was prepared to pay for him. And what Bayern thought was up to them, and he was just concentrating on his game. And finally, before they went into Fremdsprachen, it was about the similarity between him and Harry Kane. Oh, well, he was also asked about Peter Crouch as well, and the similarity between him and Crouch. But in particular, he was on about when Harry Kane comes back to England to play in Europe, how he feels pressured. Apparently, Harry Kane has said this. He feels pressured to perform that little bit better because he is England's number 9, etc. And so when Big Nick's going back to Germany, does he feel that same pressure? And he said, yeah, I don't know. He says, I can't comment on how Harry Kane feels. All I know is I'll be playing my best and doing my best for the team.
It's hard to tell with Altamada, but he doesn't seem a guy who particularly worries about what people think or what's going on, or like what people, the outside noises. I think he's just one of these players that plays his own game and, doesn't give two monkeys what anybody thinks.
Yeah, I think I make you right. Listen, folks, there's 400 watching now. Smash the likes, do a favour, because we've got less than 100 likes at the minute, man. How you hit the likes, folks? Help us out, because I hit the likes for Borky's birthday.
Yeah,
happy birthday, Borky, and hit the likes.
Whack the likes.
Indeed, a Rooney. Anyway, that's it. That's what's been said and done. We will be back. There's a Champions League game kicked off already. It's half time. Kairat Olympiacos are 0-0, but neither of them are in the above us or close to us in the league at the minute, in the Champions League. So we've got no interest in that game particularly, although I will now be starting to watch it. So just in case we happen to pull them in a later stage, we'll know something about them at least. So goodbye, folks. Thanks for tuning in. Thanks for watching. As I say, smash the likes, share, subscribe, all the good stuff. Become a member if you feel that way inclined. Get all the goodies that we've got on offer for members, and we will see you tonight at 7:30.
See you later.
How are the lads?
Lasses.